Well, of course, it is interesting to see the continuous development of that project there in Lamu. Of course, the fact that dredging works are going ahead full speed and construction also means that the port should be ready to use in just about a year's time. Well, staying with the same, well, of course, conversation, what will be going through that port? Well, most of it is natural resources going out and refined goods coming in. That is the Kenyan story. Now, the Ministry of Mining has today announced that it plans to host the second edition of the annual Kenya Mining Forum that will take place on the 4th and 5th of December at the Safari Park Hotel. The forum aims to create networking opportunities for both local and foreign mining investment. The forum will showcase Kenya's mineral potential in mining, as well as attract businesses for financial institutions and technology solution providers. Mining Cabinet Secretary Dan Kazungu applauded the government for recognizing mining amongst key growth sectors for job creation over the next 5 years. This is according to a 2017 survey by the Fraser Group. Since last year's Mining Forum, Kenya has jumped 16 positions in the world's most attractive mining investment destinations, ranking globally at position 102. Well, so just what has the country done to be able to make this progress and indeed climb these global rankings? Well, we want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. The man himself is sitting at our city center studios, Dan Kazungu, CS for Mining. He is the man who has been driving this improvement, the trends that we have seen in improvement in this sector. Karibu sana, sir. Now, for most people, they're wondering, what exactly has been done over the last 1 year to drive these improvements that we are seeing in ranking?
Thanks, Peter. I think, first of all, I'd like to correct just a little bit there. The fact that on the ranking, according to Fraser report, we have moved 16 global ranking places from position 102 last year to position 86. So we are 86th most attractive mining destination in the world. And of course, we are powering more to ensure that we come to top 60 or even top 50. So your question, what have we done to showcase this kind of improvement in the sector? The first thing we did last year was to come with a strategy on how we leapfrog mining in the country. Remember, we are starting late in the game. Other countries have been in the mining sector for many years. South Africa has been doing mining for 140 years now. Botswana, almost 50 years. So we're starting up a little late, but we thought, again, if we put our strategy right, at the shortest time possible, we should be among the top mining jurisdictions in the world. And so we put together a 20-year strategy. And we've gone ahead also to come with a new policy on mining. We never had a policy on mining in the country since independence. That policy gave us an opportunity to reorganize mining in the country, including repealing old laws. The law on mining we had in the country was the 1940 law, which we repealed last year. We have gone ahead to come with the first ever mining law in independence since Kenya became independent, the Mining Act of 2016, which had very progressive provision on how to organize the mining sector. We've looked at regulations, we looked at the taxation regime, the fiscal policy around, and right now we're embarking on our data, looking at data across the board, ensure that we have information where minerals are in the country. That way, investors can quickly come in with a stable legal framework, robust regulatory framework, data and taxation regime. That's really now powering the mining sector going forward. So 6 key pillars that we identified. Of course, we build institutions and processes, and we engage very, very closely with industry. So industry players are, part and parcel of what we do. And that close collaboration and resetting how mining is going to be done going forward, making sure that underline the fact that mining should play a very key role in the economic transformation of the country. That's what with that realization, that's why you can see a sector that's coming up very strongly now, and we're very proud of what we've done so far.
Well, for much of Africa that is involved in mining, it has been export of raw materials without much value addition, and especially by the larger global companies. For many Kenyans, the progress in the law and the policy also means that there now is an opportunity for SME and maybe even micro miners to start taking a bit of the pie that is in this sector. What can we see coming out of the upcoming forum for people like that?
Thanks, Peter. I think you raise a very important point. And first of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta that on the day of the inauguration in Kasarani, he made very clear that mining will be taking a very center stage, a key pillar of the agenda now going forward in the next 5 years. And the industry is very excited. We're very happy about that. But it's also a big challenge for us. We need now to rise up and to ensure that mining takes its place. And we've been sitting together with industry to look at the best way to move the industry forward. And if you listen to his speech, he was very keen on the fact that he wants to see value addition happening here in country. He wants to see more jobs created and serious drive at wealth creation. And that's exactly where we are coming from. And we're already building mineral value addition centers. The one in Voi right now is almost done. It's been handed over to us, complete with power and water, for example, for doing value addition for gemstones to be found in the east coastal belt, especially in Taita Taveta. Today and the next 2 weeks, we'll be getting the rest of the equipment so that that center is complete. But we're also looking at private players playing a very key role when it comes to value addition, so that what we actually ship out, what we sell to international customers, is something that makes us fetch more resources than selling raw and refined minerals. So that's a key pillar of strategy. And by the way, as you do refining and value addition, that's where you create even more jobs and more value for.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about this sector and consistency in policies. We have seen in some countries in East Africa, even wider field across Africa, where international investors are going through very tough times. What is to give confidence to our investors that the consistencies we are seeing now in improvement in the policy will not be undone by subsequent administrations? What is to give them confidence that the good things that we are hearing and seeing today will last into the future? You can bring in your billions of dollars in investment, seeing as mining is very capital intensive, and then things go haywire.
Thanks, Peter. I think the first thing you do is you make the investors who are already in the country successful. You know, the international investors will come here when they get good stories about what we were doing in the country, or the investors who already invested huge amount of money are successful. Okay. And that's one of the deliberate things we try to do. Today, we're very happy that also, although last year, a big theme in the market was the fact that prices had come down, prices had crashed, the sector was ailing. Through commodity prices having plummeted. But by the end of last year, Peter, bears, for example, was the #1 export. In terms of the mineral of the port of Mombasa, the #1 product to be exported to the port of Mombasa was actually a mineral. It beat coffee, tea, pyrethrum, hydrogen. And so these big stories that are coming up now, companies making money, even willing to pay more royalties now, this is the kind of story that we're looking at. So we're trying to make the local companies successful. But we also want to go do aggressive marketing as well. We've been all over the world, in Africa, in Middle East, in Europe, in Americas, to tell the world that we are ready, Kenya is ready for business, and that when you come here, the environment is stable, that we respect the contracts. Kenya is a free market economy. In fact, if at a higher level, if you look at the kind of investment that we've done on energy, on infrastructure, all this on ease of doing business, all these kind of stories are very good for international customers who want to come and invest in the mining sector. Innovation, a highly educated workforce,
yes.
The fact that we're also pushing on to get a very high level manpower. We have a National Mining Institute coming, churning out, hopefully soon, our own
yes.
people who will be manning these centers. These kind of things are the people that are looking. But also know that Kenya is a gateway to East and Central Africa. So for them setting up shop here, it's a window to the entire
yes.
region. And these are kind of things that, apart from our geological rich in minerals,
yes.
that drives also the interest of our customers into Kenya.
Talk to us very briefly, finally, about the upcoming mining forum itself. What we can expect as, of course, first stakeholders, what people who will come as delegates, and indeed just visitors who want to walk off the street because of their interest can expect to find. What kind of stakeholders are we going to bring in?
Thank you. I think the first and foremost that we tend to achieve on the mining forum, Kenya Mining Forum. This is the second edition, by the way. Last year we had the first edition at Crown Plaza. The
yes.
second edition promises to be bigger, and that's why we moved it to Safari Park. It's a platform. It's a platform for local investors, international investors to come and interact, exchange notes, compare experiences. Showcase the opportunities that are available in Kenya, in the region. We want everybody in, local artisanal miners, small-scale players, medium-scale players, people in the service industry, whether it's technology, like you said, technology providers, or financial service sector players. We want all of them there to compare notes. There'll be policymakers as well to try to see what is it that we can do to ensure that industry succeeds. So these will be robust discussions around the best way to bring a mining jurisdiction that powers industry, that creates jobs, creates opportunities, and ensure that mining, like I said, contributes in a huge way on the economic transformation agenda for the country going forward in the next 5 years. So that's the kind of things we want to look at, robust discussion to ensure that after that, we
yes.
can continue building on the success of the past year so that we can attract more investment in the sector and create more jobs and wealth.
Okay. Indeed, thank you very much. Of course, we can talk about so much in the sector from, of course, the price of energy that is expected to fall by about 50% for manufacturing and allied sectors, as the President indicated. Of course, we have the new policy that we have just mentioned and so many other developments. Indeed, thank you very much, sir, for taking the time to talk to us right there. Dan Kazungu, CS for Mining, speaking into the Kenya Mining Forum, which is expected to take off sometime next week. And of course, you can, of course, look out for that event that we'll be covering quite in-depth to be able to get a look at what exactly is happening in the field of mining and mineral resources here in the country. On that note, we want to proceed to a short commercial break, but on the other side of that break, we will be taking stock of what has happened over the week here in the markets in the country with Kenny Gishinga, who is Chief Economist at Mentoria Consulting. Do stay with us. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.